Ladies and gentlemen, our penultimate contest of the evening, live and exclusive on VIPBoxing.tv, is 6 3-minute rounds in the super middleweight division. Introducing to you firstly, boxing out of the blue corner, wearing the black coloured shorts trimmed with gold. At the weight he scaled 11 stone, 7 pounds, 4 ounces. Another young man who's come a journey all the way once again from Plymouth. A nice Liverpool welcome, please, for Christian Hoskin Gomez. And opposing him, boxing out of the red corner, wearing the gold coloured shorts trimmed with black. At the weight he scaled 11 stone, 12 pounds, 12 ounces. He hails from Eccleston near Preston via the Michael Jennings camp. Here is Mark Jeffers. Timekeeper at the bell, Burnley's Gary Grennan, star referee in charge of the action, the world-class Steve Gray from Fleetwood. This is 6 3-minute rounds.
These shorts are low, Mark, so nothing below there, okay? Okay, let's have a cold break. You take one step back. Don't throw punches to the back of the head. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch them up. Good luck, lads.
Here we go then. Mark Jeffers in with Christian Hoskin Gomez. Commentary, Chris Walker staying with us, and joining us, Sean Mashidod after a great win against Tom Stalker last time out.
Thanks, mate.
Second out, round
Enjoying
one.
yourself tonight after a few hard back-to-back camps.
I am, yeah. I come along and Steve said, you know, come in, you know, show support for the lads, which you want to do anyway, and then do a little bit of commentary for us, and I was like, okay, Sam. And I was sitting there and we're just speaking with the lad. He's ringside, he's hammered. Ended up having a pint, didn't I? I'm a bit dizzy now.
We had your coach, Danny Kelly, messaging earlier before, saying he's enjoying the show.
Always right, yeah. Danny boy. I'm here, mate. I've had a pint and a half.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on him, Dan. I'll make sure he doesn't drink too much.
As long as I stay here ringside now, otherwise I've got the taste for it.
Jeffs will be looking to make a statement tonight, but Hoskin Gomez is as tough as they come, isn't he?
I don't know too much about this Gomez, but you know, Jeffers, he's got Michael Gomez now in his corner there, so you know, wealth of experience from Michael, and he looks in good shape, good condition. He looks quite intimidating. He looks a lot bigger as well, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's always looked big for the weight, and especially tonight, he looks huge in there.
Yeah, he does. He looks well.
He's looking for his first stoppage as well. You wonder when that comes with like a young prospect, when like they go on the distance every single time. They do want that first knockout loss, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, obviously, someone like yourself, Masha, like you've like not many knockouts on your ledger. You're a hard puncher, but obviously because you had to come up hard and do it the hard. When you come up, you have to work hard for them point victories. And can it be a pressure on a fighter when you're looking for that first knockout, or is the win always the most important thing?
Yeah, do you know what, Chris? I just enjoy being in there, you know, honestly. And I said that about Tom Stalker in interviews. If he hurt him and he's hurt and he's going down, I'm going to pick him up and keep it going and just give him 12 rounds of punishment. That was my mentality. That's what I like to do. I enjoy being in there, and then I just enjoy the rounds. I'm not a knockout puncher. Don't go looking for the knockout. And even though tell you what, this Jeffers can't have. He's frightening, isn't he?
Yeah, he's one of these guys that he does punch quite hard, but on his record, it looks like he can't punch really. And he's one of these guys that I think when he gets in there for the longer distance, you'll see him start notching a few stoppages, but he just seems to, the 4 and 6 rounders seems to just neglect his power a little bit, especially when he works the body.
Yeah, that's what happens once you start stepping up and you're doing, you know, 6, 8, 10 rounds. You've got more of a chance of, you know, getting a couple of stoppages and stuff like that in. But like Chris touched on then, my couple of earlier fights, you know, my first 10 fights were always tough fights. You know, there were lads in there that there were wars, you know, so it was hard to get stoppages. It was just about getting through the rounds and learning. But I've always had it in my mentality that because my experience and me boxing's been, you know, such short career.
Yeah, it started late.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed the rounds and sparring, and even when I've been in the ring fighting, I've always wanted to just I've always had it in my head to see the rounds out, do the rounds, and just basically learn on the job. And still to this day, I don't want to knock people out. I'm not into knocking people out.
Yeah, and I suppose when you step up in opposition, they start firing back with shots as well, which means that you've got more openings when you have that power to maybe get the stoppages.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, lads, that was John there. That's the lad he's at me big side. He's hammered. He's just come over and said hello. He's my big fan.
Sure, you've got many of them now, Mash.
Yeah,
10 seconds.
I call him
corners.
friends, mate. I call him he's my friend.
I was speaking with your manager earlier, Steve, about
Seconds out.
potential Lewis
Round
Ritson
two.
fight in the new year.
Yeah, I've just said to him then what's going on, you know, because he you know, I would love to fight, and he's mentioned me. There was a bit of a, you know, people were talking about it, and then
Doing that in Jeff as well. Go on, Jeff. Nice and neat on this side. Oh, sorry, man.
John, you get me sacked, John. You're gonna get me sacked, lad.
Tell him that.
If you're listening,
Go on,
guys,
Jeff,
I'll have to
first.
get a photo of him, won't I?
Tell him, Mash.
Hey, let me just say this a minute here, John, all right? Let me see this. Sort him out, Chris. Forgot what I was even saying.
He's a bit too big for
He's a
me.
big lad,
Yeah,
isn't he?
if he was small, I'd have a word.
Forgot what I was
So we
even
were
saying.
talking about the Ritson fight.
Yeah, so there was a lot of like people were talking and tweeting about it when Matchroom asked me, and I said that's music to my ears. And then a couple of weeks have gone by now, and it's gone a bit quiet, you know. So I spoke to Steve, and Steve said, you know, come here tonight anyway, because you know the show's on. Went to see him, and he said he got an email last night off Eddie Hearn. Do you want to fight? And I was like, wow, of course, yeah. Why didn't you tell me when you text me soon as he emailed you? So I'm thinking it was going to be in the Echo Arena end of February, early March, but I think it might be in
the northeast.
Yeah, Newcastle.
Yeah.
So it'd be a nice little day out. Everyone's been asking for the day out anyway, so you know, it'd be a nice little trip to Newcastle if it is.
What's your assessment of obviously his performance against Robbie Barrett last time out? I know Barrett was the favourite in that fight, and obviously after he'd beaten Cardle, I don't think it was come as a bit of a shock. He was few picked Ritson, but not in the manner that he won the fight. Did it surprise you, or was it a performance that you maybe expected?
To be honest, I've never seen Ritson, so I didn't know what to expect of him. Just heard that he was a good kid. What I've seen of Barrett against Scott Cardle is Cardle didn't look his best, but take nothing away from Barrett. He boxed brilliant. He got hurt, and you know, Cardle hurt him, but Cardle just went a little bit too gun-ho for it then, and sort of disrespected him. And Barrett got it right on the night and outboxed him and got through it and won. So, you know, there was still more expectations of Barrett to see what he was about. And then when I seen him on the night with Ritson, Barrett didn't look great, you know what I mean? And Ritson looked, you know, big and strong. And, you know, he looked like he should be where he was doing that. And I didn't think Barrett gave him too much of a test, you know, take nothing away from him, square on, and Ritson done what he needed to do, but I wasn't overly, you know, impressed, you know what I mean, like, you know, because Barrett to me didn't look the best, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Well, on regards to, we just touched on Scott Cardle then, obviously since the setbacks that you've had against Cardle, Masha, you've gone away and you've rebuilt, and you've had some great wins, and you're in a fantastic position now. Is it still an itch that you want to scratch? I would probably say you've moved ahead of him in the rankings, and you've certainly got a lot more opportunities coming your way than probably what Cardle has. But I know the competitor in you. Is it something that you still want to go and put right one day?
Yeah, you know, I'm on the ground with as you say, fans, but my friends. You know, I'm in touch with everyone, and I'm one of them. I fight for the fans. I fight for people, and it's, you know, I'm on level par with them all. I don't think or see me any different than any of them, and I'm just basically in there flying the flag for
10 seconds, corners.
And you know, we got asked to fight with Scott Cardle, and I jumped at it, and it weren't for the fact that
Round three.
I want me personally, but it was for everyone. Everyone wants it, and I want it for them. You know what I mean? And I want it because they know you know, I can beat him, and I'll beat him again convincingly, and I want to do it for them, and I want to, you know, because even though I didn't get the result, the decision, I still know I'll beat him. He knows I beat him. That's why they didn't take the third fight. Eddie offered him the third fight to fight me for a defence of the Commonwealth, and he turned it down. He didn't want to know, and Tom Stalker got the shot. Do you know what I mean? So. Yeah, you know, if it got put to me, it's there. I would love that fight, and yeah, just to prove that I can beat him. But I know I can anyway. But it's what everyone wants it. You know what I mean? Everyone I speak to always talks about fighting Scott Cardle. I think because how disrespectful he was. I think they just want to see me just do it, man.
Yeah, but it did cook, didn't it? At certain points, with obviously some things that were said in the build-up and stuff like that, and some things that were said afterwards. Obviously, I remember seeing somewhere that you didn't feel you got the respect you deserved afterwards.
Yeah, well, do you know what it was? It was in ringside. He was respectful in front of the cameras, in front of us there. When 5 minutes later, he was in the changing rooms getting an interview, and it was just total disrespect. And he just went back on everything he said and all his words, and that was what people have picked up on. You know, that's what everyone kept talking about, what he said in that interview there. So it's all his own doings, and that's what it is. People are like, you deserve better than that. You deserve the respect from him, and he hasn't shown you, and it's annoyed people, and they want me to go and fill him in to get that respect. So yeah, if that's what people want, then I'm happy to go and do it. But he's just got to keep on winning.
Just while we were talking, then Jeff has looked quality in there. I think he hurt Gomez in the last round and backed him up to the ropes, and he's picking his shots really nicely. And the best performance I've seen from him, I think, so far in his career.
He hasn't
really good.
He hasn't put a foot wrong.
Yeah.
He hasn't put a foot wrong. He's got a good variety, and I've touched on a few of the earlier fights. We've had some fighters this evening who are just relying on the same shots. We had a fighter earlier who kept going to the body with the left hook. The last fight we had, Colin Day just trying to throw that right hand, and he has mixed it up. And I do like fighters with a lot of variety.
Yeah.
It shows that they can win several different ways, and they've got different game plans, they've got different gears, and I have been impressed myself.
They're thinking, aren't they? Sorry, Luke. It shows when a fighter's mixing it up like that. They're thinking, and just this, the jab to the solar plex. Then it's not a shot that many throw, but it's a shot that someone who knows what they're doing, and when they're thinking, and a shot to the solar plex is just a jab alone is a great shot. It's bringing their hands down. It's making them turn and start. You're opening them up. You punch that shot to try and push them square on. So it just shows you that the wealth of experience he's got with Gomez in the corner there. He's thinking as he's fighting.
Yeah, and if you watched him and didn't know about his record, you'd think he'd have quite a few stoppages because the way he fights, and there seems to be a lot of power behind the shots that he's throwing, and it just hasn't come for him yet. But I suppose it'll benefit him in the long run going those rounds and being in with opponents that don't just fall over when you hit them. And it's all a learning curve for him, and he seems to be improving massively every time we see him as well.
That's the one, as long as you're improving, aren't you, as you go. What is his record, Luke, do you know?
10 seconds, corners.
Is he?
This is 6 fights, yeah.
So there you go. His experience is very raw yet. You know what I mean? He's only in his fifth fight, and he looks twice as good as what I was in my 5th fight. You know what I mean? So you'd think he'd had a lot more than that. He is picking his shots nice. You can hear the foots, can't you, ringside? I thought that Gomez was going to come out the ring before. Sometimes though, when you're in your early career like this, you do sort of go looking for it, and you're putting everything into your shots, and some will be blocked, and then when you do see an opening, you just haven't got all of that warmth that you want to have in your shot.
Does this seem a million miles away for you now, Mash? Obviously coming up on these small shows, and now you.
It's weird, yeah.
On the Sky shows, your last few fights, and obviously building quite a bit of a following. But obviously, how vital was it for you getting experience on these shows coming up? As I said, we look at your amateur career. I think it was just a novice title, wasn't it?
Two novice titles, yeah. 19 fights, yeah.
And so I remember me and Derry used to
Yeah,
come over
remember
on
Chris, yeah.
Saturday afternoons
Yeah.
when you were preparing for them back in the day.
That's right.
And like I said, you've had to sort of like pay your dues on them early shows and learn a lot and maybe not have the exposure. Some of maybe the GB lads and lads who've won several ABA titles and who've been to Commonwealth Games and Olympic Games. What's that like, that experience? Do you feel like you're proving yourself every single fight?
Yeah, I believe that the way I've boxed and the way I've had it, that's what's put me in good stead when I come across like the Scott Cardle, and De Silva, all them fights, from the Gary Buckland fight onwards. I had a lot of variety. I had lads coming to win, coming to fight. I boxed Lee Connolly, who's Cardle boxed the other day. I boxed him in like my third fight, you know what I mean? And he'd had a couple more than me then, Lee, and we were nominated for 4-round fight of the year. It was a proper fight.
Even Andy Townend, you had to take that fight.
Yeah, that was my 9th fight. That was my first title fight, mate. So I've had a lot of experience and variety and tests. I've been cut. Steve Brogan was boxing just before against what's his name, Ibrahim Riaz.
Yeah.
I boxed him early and he butted me in like the second round, split my eye. So I've had cuts in the earlier fights. I've been in with good lads, and I've learnt on the job, as you said, and every fight sort of went the distance. So it put me in good stead and gave me a wealth of experience and then for the bigger fights.
And then following on from that, obviously, before Stalker, you had your homecoming in Birkenhead, but that was kind of like being on the small old show, topping that. And during your camp, how did you treat that during fight week? Did you keep training towards Stalker, or did you treat it as two different, smaller camps, so to speak?
Well, initially we were hoping, the plan was to box at Samia just on its own, and then Eddie obviously he got in touch with us and he said to us, will you give Scott Cardle a shot to the Commonwealth? And I was like, hell yeah, I'll do it for the fans, because that's what everyone wants. He's not really, he's not even an issue with me no more, to be fair. Scott turned it down and then he gave it to the Tom Stalker, and I was like, no, he doesn't deserve it, he's not right, he's been mouthy and disrespectful, don't want to give him the fight. And he was like, well, he gave me a better offer than with Scott Cardle, and there was an offer I couldn't refuse, and I said, yeah, let's do it then, tell Tom we can have the fight. So, because that was a big fight then, we sort of had to bring the Tramia fight a week earlier and then lower the status of the fight. We were initially going on the pitch and it was going to be a big fight, but we took it a week earlier and then we took it into a smaller venue. So then we were initially looking for, I wanted a southpaw, but Danny, me coach, said, look, it might be a bit risky being a southpaw in the fight. In case he sees how you deal with it, people will see it. You're sort of letting people see things. Just have an orthodox, don't worry about it. And I said, look, Dan, you know me better and you know best. I'll leave it with you. You decide. I'll just do whatever I'm told to train, get ready and fight. And then it turned out to be Horvatic.
Yeah.
And I thought he was going to be a bit bigger and I expected a tougher test, but getting to our training and stuff, we got him out there early. So I wore the same kit as a different Stalker because it didn't get dirty. And I literally boxed the Saturday. I had Sunday off, or the Monday, and I think I was back in the Monday. So just basically safe back into. So I just used it as part as camp really, and it turned out more of a glorified sparring session.
In regards to the Stalker fight, Mash, obviously I consider yourself a friend and Tom a friend as well. Like two guys I've had the pleasure of covering at various levels of your career. You spoke earlier about obviously wanting different experiences and stuff like that, like dealing with a cut and obviously fighting people early on. But although you say Tom didn't deserve the fight, wasn't the thrill of having a derby there and obviously for how good an amateur he was and all stuff like that?
Yeah.
Did you certainly see benefits that he brought to the table?
Yeah, there was loads, all of that. I see it how you see it, but I didn't let him see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what got under his skin, because he kept saying he thinks he's better than me, you know, and I knew that was under his skin. So I just acted like he was bringing nothing to it and I was going to gain nothing from it. But deep down, you know, he's a top amateur. He's a southpaw. He was rangy. He had wealth of experience. He's in a great camp with MTK. They've got great facilities. They lived a life. I was up against it. And I don't know how they had me favourite, you know what I mean? Because in my head, he was favourite. And I had to go and prove a point again that night. I had to step up to the plate and just show that I can box a little bit. And I was worried, mate. Yeah, of course I was, you know. And that's why I said he doesn't deserve it, because I didn't want to. I thought, I'm not having him taking my belt off me, you know, because he's capable of doing it, do you know what I mean? And I worked that hard, and I went home and I studied southpaws and orthodoxes. I was studying Rujo. I was studying the elite orthodoxes, dealing with the elite southpaws. And if Tom Stalker was going to become the elite, and then I was going to try and be the elite orthodox, and I tried a few things, and he paid off on the night, and you know, our plan worked, and got the tactics spot on, and you know, thank God that we come away with the decision. So I was happy with that. Yeah. How many's the schedule for this? Is it?
This is the last one.
It's the last one.
Just walked into a little bit of trouble at the end of that round, Jeff, as he got caught, and he sort of paid a little bit of credit towards it as well. He acknowledged the shot. He's getting a bit of a telling off Michael Jennings now.
I think he's just now, he's sort of fallen into that trap now of just slugging it out and having a little bit of a war. I think, you know, don't just match it for punch now. This is where you learn now. This is the experience.
10 seconds,
just tuck
corners.
up, keep it tight, and pick the shots now. He needs to just not just throw shots because he's hitting on the gloves.
For the sixth and final
Wait,
round.
see it, pick it, and then let it go. But last round, you get that last little bit of energy now, don't you? And you sort of go out there and enjoy yourself for the last round.
He looked a little bit annoyed at himself when he come back to his corner then at the end of that round. Like I said, he's probably been punch perfect for the sessions before, and he did get caught with a shot, and momentarily just took a step back, and as the bell rang, he did sort of just tap his opponent on the back and congratulate him on the good shot. So I said he's just had a telling off there off Michael Jennings. So like I said, we'll see if he gets a reaction this round. But I'm with you, Mash. I think he should he's got the fight won, take no risks and just see it out.
Just tuck up tight now, and just pick some nice shots now. Just enjoy it, you know, and don't play to the crowd or start going mad for any sort of stoppage. Just enjoy it and just work on a few little shots. The body shot he's throwing is lovely.
How's my old mate Sean doing?
Trotsky? Yeah, the Buffalo.
For a while, yeah.
He's sound, mate. As he is, you'll see him and he's just still trodding, mate.
I see him rolling up in ITV dramas now, don't I? Just, I don't think he speaks to me no more because of his new found celebrity status. I seen him in New Brighton about a couple of Easters ago. We had all the lads there, running on the waterfront there. Yeah, we're just seeing the van. Every time I cross the water, I see that Bacon Adventure fan everywhere.
Little Ted Bundy, man. He's as you said, a celebrity status. He's moved up in the world now, mate. He's got one of them BMW X5s. So he's travelling now in a bit of luxury style.
Is the gym doing well? The amateurs doing well over there?
Yeah, fantastic, mate. We're out tomorrow. At Walton, is it? Walton Amateur, by Everton there. We've got little Tom Musker and Sword-Eyed Samurai and little Colin Day. So a few of the young kids there boxing. So get there and show our support, and I just enjoy coming to shows now and not worrying about what happens to being at home, get home in bed, you know, and you know, thinking about your camp yourself. So it's nice to enjoy. This is where now he needs to Jeff is just not do that, you know, drop his hand down and get annoyed with himself. If the lad's throwing shots, just tuck up tight, don't worry about it. It's and then, you know, you start throwing wild shots then and missing, you know, so you're getting yourself annoyed. Just tuck it up tight. Don't worry about what's coming your way. Just use your defence, that's it. And then just work back behind the jab. He is a tough kid, this Gomez, though, isn't he? That's nice.
There we go then. I think undoubtedly job done for Mark Jeffers, but he looks a bit frustrated there, doesn't he, at the last couple of rounds?
It's just when you, as anyone, as a human being, you get tired, you get a little bit ragged, and if something's not happening for you, because he did hit him with some good shots, you know, we heard them, we felt the shots, so you got to give Gomez credit there for sticking in and seeing the fight out. But you know, Jeffers there, you get yourself a little bit annoyed and a bit frustrated, and then you start winging more shots and you get yourself a little bit more tired, and then this is where you learn now, and this is where you got to just take your time and think, you know what, let him throw, and if he lands within the fight game, tuck up tight, and then just come back with your own.
He doesn't look too pleased. I don't know if he's, obviously I know fighters set high standards for themselves. I don't know if he's a bit of a...
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 extremely hard-fought rounds of boxing, star referee Steve Gray has scored the contest 59 points to 55 points for your winner, Mark Jeffers. And a fine effort. Another man who's got a long way to go on, Christian Hoskin Gomez. Well done, Christian.
Had a wide points verdict.
Yeah, he asked the referee, it was the last round that he'd given to Gomez, and the referee nodded. He seemed frustrated that he'd given Gomez the chance to nick around, and like you said before, I think he is a perfectionist, and that's just annoyed him a little bit.
Yeah, he's doing very hard on himself. As I said, he's not going to look at $1 million every single fight, especially on the way up.
As long as you can just take something from each fight, you know, you just one thing, you'll learn from it. And you can see it in his face there that he'll go back and he'll watch this fight, and all he'll hear is me talking about me. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So sorry about that, Jeffers, lad. But we were watching you, mate, and we were impressed as well. So well done, lad, and just watch it back. And,
final contest of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Nice 8 rounds to send us home happy.
You know, good
Would you please
performance
welcome
overall.
making
So be
his
happy with
entrance
your
to the ring,
performance.
Edvinas Popoulos.